Widowed billionaire sends his daughter to a public school by mistake, only to meet a teacher who heals a wound money never could. The limousine idled at the wrong curb. James Whitmore didn't notice, not right away. He was too busy adjusting his crisp cufflinks, scanning morning stock alerts, and answering a call from Tokyo. His driver had simply entered Oak Ridge Elementary, instead of Oak Ridge Academy, into the GPS, and now the sleek black vehicle sat out front of a modest brick building where a line of kids filed in, backpacks bouncing and laughter echoing in the chilly autumn air. In the back seat, his 7-year-old daughter Emma clutched her lunchbox, gazing at the unfamiliar surroundings. "Daddy, this doesn't look like my school," she whispered. James glanced up, distracted. "It's a different entrance, honey. Go on in. I'll see you at pickup." Emma stepped out, the car pulling away before anyone could realize the mistake. Inside Oak Ridge Elementary, not Academy, a woman named Miss Clara Hughes stood near her classroom door, her warm eyes scanning the hallway for her students. She spotted Emma immediately, clean uniform, confused expression, posture too poised for this neighborhood. "Hi there, sweetheart. You lost?" Emma hesitated. "No, ma'am. I'm in Miss Taylor's class." Miss Hughes knelt beside her. "We don't have a Miss Taylor, but we'll figure it out. Come in, sit with us for a bit. You're safe here." And so, the billionaire's daughter found herself in room 12, where the walls were decorated with paper hearts and math charts hand-drawn in crayon, not the polished, laminated gloss of private institutions. She was surrounded by children who wore hand-me-downs and ate free lunches, yet offered her half their snacks and smiles without a second thought. Miss Hughes watched Emma throughout the day. There was a stillness about the girl, not shyness, but something deeper. She colored carefully but didn't speak unless spoken to. At recess, she sat alone. During reading time, she stared at her book but never turned the pages. When the final bell rang, James's limousine screeched to a halt at the front entrance, the billionaire bursting out with panic painted across his face. "I'm looking for my daughter, Emma Whitmore," he demanded, ignoring the stares from staff and students alike. Miss Hughes appeared at the door, Emma holding her hand. "You must be her father," she said gently. "We were about to call someone. She did beautifully today." James blinked at the sight of the humble classroom behind her and then down at his daughter, who looked calmer than she had in months. I'm sorry. There was a mistake. She's not supposed to be here." Miss Hughes smiled. "Maybe not. But maybe she needed to be." James barely replied, ushering Emma into the car. But before he could drive off, Miss Hughes stepped forward. "She didn't say much, but I can tell. There's sadness in her. Children carry things, Mr. Whitmore, even when they can't explain them." James nodded curtly, overwhelmed, and they drove away. That night, he sat alone in the library of his mansion, staring at a photo of his late wife. It had been almost 2 years, but grief had folded into his skin, into his schedule, into the spaces where his wife used to be. Emma hadn't cried when her mother died. She just stopped laughing. He thought private tutors, travel, and the best schools could fix it. They hadn't. The next morning, Emma surprised him. "Can I go back to that school today?" James hesitated. "Why?" "I liked Miss Hughes," she said simply. "She talks to me like Mama used to." His breath caught. He looked down at his daughter, really looked. "Okay," he whispered. "Just for today." One day became 2. Then a week. James began driving her himself, curious, parking across the street and watching. He saw Emma running, playing, laughing. The light in her was returning. Flickers at first, then bursts. Eventually, he asked to meet Miss Hughes for coffee. They sat at a small diner, the kind with chipped mugs and friendly waitresses who called you Han. "You've helped her," James said. "And I don't understand how. She's had everything. But she was lost, until now. Miss Hughes sipped her coffee, eyes kind but firm. She didn't need everything. She needed to feel seen. Children grieve too, Mr. Whitmore. They just don't have words for it. And no one's really been speaking to her, only at her. James looked down. I didn't know how. Most parents don't, she said softly. Especially the ones carrying their own grief. For the first time in years, he felt tears burn behind his eyes. The weeks turned to months. James began volunteering, quietly, anonymously. He helped repair the school's leaky roof, donated books without fanfare. But the biggest gift wasn't financial. It was when he sat on the floor beside his daughter in that very classroom, gluing glitter to construction paper snowflakes, Emma laughing beside him. He found himself drawn back to room 12, not for charity, but for healing. One day, Emma turned to him and asked, "Daddy, do you think Mama would have liked Miss Hughes?" He swallowed hard. "Yes, sweetheart. Very much." Miss Hughes smiled quietly from her desk, watching them. In time, the community would learn who James really was. Not from the news, but through actions. He funded after-school programs, never once asking for his name on the buildings. He showed up to parent-teacher nights and read to the kids every Friday. And most importantly, he listened to Emma. He listened to himself. The man who once believed money could solve anything discovered the power of presence, of humility, of human connection. On the last day of school that year, Miss Hughes handed Emma a handmade card. On the back, in careful handwriting, were the words, "Sometimes, the heart finds its home not in a place, but in a person." James read it, tears slipping down his cheek. That evening, as the sun bathed their backyard in golden light, Emma climbed into his lap. "Miss Hughes said you healed too." He kissed her hair. "I think she healed us both." And from that day forward, James Whitmore, the widowed billionaire, never measured wealth by what he owned, but by the love he'd rediscovered in a humble classroom, where a kind teacher gave his daughter what money never could, hope, understanding, and a chance to feel whole again. The end.